Right now, some of the biggest brands in the world are quietly moving production out of China, and most of them are landing in the same country. A wave of new rules taking effect this year is about to push everyone else in the same direction. Here's what's actually happening and what it means if you buy anything from overseas. For 30 years, the answer to where do we make it was simple: China. Then the math changed. Trade tensions, tariffs, and the risk of betting your whole supply chain on one country made just use China start to feel fragile. Companies didn't walk away overnight. What they did was add a second base, close enough to China to keep the parts flowing, cheap enough to protect the margin. The strategy even has a name: China Plus One. And the number one destination for that plus one is Vietnam. In 2025 alone, Vietnam pulled in over $36 billion of foreign investment in electronics, footwear, and semiconductors. Its economy is forecast to grow more than 7% this year. This isn't a forecast about the future. It's already on the ground. So why Vietnam? Start with cost. After the latest round of US tariffs, Chinese goods got more expensive to land in America, and in a lot of categories, Vietnam now comes in cheaper. In things like bamboo and kitchenware, Vietnamese factories can run 40 to 60% below China once the tariff is counted. And in some categories, the shift has already happened. Take furniture. America imports around $32 billion of furniture a year, and Vietnam is now more than a quarter of that. More than half of every wooden bedroom set sold in the US is made in Vietnam. Companies like Samsung and Nike already build a big share of their products there. Rattan, ceramics, baskets, planters, same story, smaller scale. The factories are there, the skill is there, the capacity is there. But cost isn't the whole picture, and 2026 is the year the rules caught up. If you sell into Europe, three things just changed. First, CBAM, the carbon border tax, went live in January, putting a price on the emissions baked into things like steel and aluminum. Second, EUDR, the deforestation law, means products like wood, rubber, and coffee now have to be traced back to the exact plot of land they came from. And third, new packaging rules tighten what you're even allowed to ship in. Here's the part most buyers miss. Your supplier's paperwork is now your liability. If the factory can't prove where it came from, you can't sell it. Sourcing stopped being only about price. It became about proof. Which brings us to the hard part. Finding a good factory in Vietnam is genuinely difficult. Around 74% of Vietnamese supplier websites won't show you a price or a minimum order. It's contact for quote every single time. Roughly 80% of the real workshops have almost no online presence at all. No English site, no catalog, just a Facebook page and a WhatsApp number, if you're lucky. The big exporters are easy to find, and they want orders in the thousands. The small workshop that would happily make your 50 units is the one you can't see. So you end up flying blind, wiring a deposit to a company you can't verify, hoping the samples match the shipment. In this market, 10 to 20% of orders fail inspection. This is the real problem worth solving. Not where is Vietnam. We know where Vietnam is. The problem is trust. Knowing the factory is real, the certifications are valid, the wages are paid, and the paperwork will survive a customs check. That's verification. That's the difference between a cheap quote and a shipment that actually clears. The move to Vietnam is one of the biggest stories in trade right now, and it's only speeding up. The winners won't be the ones who move fastest, they'll be the ones who move with proof. So if you're sourcing from Vietnam and you want to stop guessing, that's what we do at Trade with Viet. We verify the supplier and show you the real landed cost before you commit. The link's below.